where we're going to have a fun time learning, thinking outside the box, thinking outside of the old, stinky groupthink paradigm that has so many people at each other's throats in our culture today because they don't know how to think straight when all they get are these role models from D.C. who model ugliness, model hate, blame games, narcissism, and in many cases, a psychopathic type behavior where there's no empathy, no commitment to the truth, objective truth standards. It's just whatever you feel like, whatever you want, nihilistic insanity. And that's become the norm now. You know, we've created this nihilistic standard of morality, which leavens everything we do and say and think about in society. And when you have a nihilistic framework, you have a war on the family, a war on the family values that make society a functional place. You know, that you have boundaries. This is an adult. This is a child. This is a man. This is a woman. This is a cousin. This is a nephew. You know, this is a aunt, right? These structures, these orders of things. This is property. This belongs to this person, not that person. Okay? These different things happen because they provide difference. They provide boundaries. They provide healthy frameworks by which people can flourish and work together in win-win solutions. But all of that is being trashed. All of that is being basically upended in our current order, where you're told that it's a deep, deep, horribly hard thing to have children. You shouldn't even do it. It's terrible, you know. You have people shipping their employees all over the country so they can kill their offspring in the womb so they can just keep working in these jobs that don't really have any meaning. And so you think about that, you say, well, how in the world did we get to a decadent, decaying society like that? It's because we've lost our way. We don't have any consideration for the things that made America a wonderful place at its best when it was having renaissance of Christian revival and spirit, Christian curiosity. You know, these things are stuff that are bedrock to a healthy, vibrant society. And we're told to hate the family. We're told to destroy families at whatever little whim you have. We're told to, you just go follow your own desires, but they're not your desires. The things you want because somebody else wants them, and you are imitating their desires. You're imitating their status, their way of speaking, their way of acting, right? The clothes they wear, the zip code that they live in, the gated community that they're in. You want to have that because they have it, and you're jealous. That's what that envy is at the heart of so much of mistakes that humans make. We're not honest with ourselves. We don't want to admit how much of what we do is keeping up with the Joneses. Today it's keeping up with the Kardashians. That's the name of the show. And it's not to scapegoat them. It's just to use them as a brand name that so symbolizes the current cultural world order of nihilism. That's one in which, you know, kids are kind of to be used as an accessory for fashion. Oh, look at what I have. Your kid is just another example of competing with your neighbors rather than a sacred human being that should be given the best. And that best is stable, intact homes. A man and a wife staying together to provide a foundation of masculine and feminine complementary modeling of behavior. And that provides a healthy psychological foundation for children to model and to know boundaries and freedom and empathy and emotions and logic and all those things balanced out together, and to model commitment, to model keeping one's word, to model keeping basically solidarity through ups and downs. That's completely anathema to today's disgusting nihilistic world order. Today's nihilism is whatever you feel like is God, because there is no meaning. There is no God who's judging you or has a standard for living. There is no afterlife. There is no purpose to life. There is no, moral framework that stands outside of your feelings. It's just whatever you want. You are the measure of your life, your feelings, your whims, your desires. They are the gods that you're supposed to be enslaved to. And so if society tells you, you stay in a marriage until you feel like you could get something better, well, they're teaching you to model covetousness, to model lying, that your word means nothing, that your word is garbage. And you're teaching your kids that their word should be garbage, that their word should be nothing, that they're not loyal, that they're not steadfast, that they're not long-suffering and empathetic and self-sacrificial. So don't underestimate the influence of cultural figures like the Kim Kardashian people, like these different pop culture figures who have millions upon millions, tens of millions of people seeing their photos on Instagram, seeing their videos on YouTube or television programs, Hulu, and saying, I can get better. It's whatever I want. I am the God of, my desires are the gods of the universe. Whatever they tell me to want is the gospel, and there is nothing above that God. That is satanic. It's disgusting. It's a joke. It's an attack on masculinity. It's an attack on femininity. It's an attack on men. It's an attack on women, and it's an attack on children. Without firm, strong families, you will have tyranny, period. If you don't have firm, strong families, you will not be able to overcome tyranny. So the family issue is the bedrock from which we can even have a conversation about liberty and progress in healing diseases and having order and having a fair justice system, having a system that is ordered and beautiful and allows for diverse thought and ingenuity and innovation, creativity, right? All of that can only happen when you have societies that are not cooked and baked in nihilism.